Welcome into the Stanford Cardinal Dynasty, Week 5, with Oregon State headed down south for a Pac-12 battle against our number 2 Cardinal. And for our Stanford Cardinal and Coach Barrington, this is a pretty important week as we have some high-end talent coming. Titus Byler will be on a visit today, the number 2 player across the nation, number 1 at corner. Additionally, we have the number 3 player across the country, right outside linebacker, power rusher, would be switched to a left or right end in Ed Gage. Dropping down to 15th in the nation, you have an athlete fitted towards the offensive line at 6'4", 300 pounds from Las Vegas, Steve Cortez. And rounding out the group, moving back up the board to 8, you have quarterback field general from Marietta, Georgia, James Gore. And with an Oregon State team that is 84 across the board, sitting 2-2. This could be a great opportunity for us to run up that score, run up some stats just like Oregon did in their rivalry. That was with Morris Duhan throwing for over 300 and 3 touchdowns. We played against him last year. We dominated against him. But Oregon State doesn't have themselves too bad of a quarterback out of our backyard, Elk Grove, Clyde Koroma. So far this year, he's thrown for 7 touchdowns, clean, no interceptions, 73% complete, but he's throwing for less than 200 yards a game. In fact, it seems like they prefer to get the ball to redshirt senior running back Justin Farrell. We played against him, I believe, his freshman year. He has not grown much, but he is averaging about 80 yards a game this year. And another reason not to overlook this Beaver team is they make a lot of plays in the backfield. Through 4 games, they've racked up TFLs, racking up sacks, and they've got a few amount of turnovers mixed in. And for our Cardinal, they're going to have to make a change, as last game, Alex Augustine dislocated his ankle. His regular season is pretty much wrapped up. He will be able to come back starting week 13. Leaving him available for the Utah and Notre Dame games, but we might just make sure he's fully ready to go when we get to the postseason. So stepping up to fill in for him, we're going to see 3 different guys. Nathan Henderson will take over as the primary left end. Rotating in, we'll see either Juan Lawton or Joseph Henry, depending on the formation. And even more, depending on the formation, as Augustine played both end and interior pass rush, Jason Blair will be having to step in. Has 91 power moves. Run stopping can still improve. He's young. It's at a 76, so we're going to need Paschal to step up in that category. But hopefully that pass rush should still be there without Augustine. But only time and the field can tell. So as we take the field, I believe this is a new uniform combination despite being Season 8 we have not seen before. The white alternate helmets, black jersey, and white pants as Legend and Ogbar takes it right-hand side to the 22, where the offense will hit the field. Gordon Draft, he dropped in the Heisman last game, but he's currently still in the running at 5th. Virgil Rowland, he dropped out, so those two, they're amped up to put forth a big game. And against Oregon State, we might just see it. Larry Sulai, he cuts right for 7. And it's been fun seeing how Coach Barrington utilizes him at that running back spot, as it's been different than any running back we've used in any game or season prior. Draft, he's going to have to throw this one away. He tried to set up that deep ball, but Oregon State actually played it very well. Draft doesn't like something here, though. 3rd and 3, he's going to flip it. Roland goes to the left-hand side, Gomez to the right, and Wesovich has checked in at running back. They throw short, finding Ben Vallejo, who's coming off a really big game. He's been a really fun addition to this wide receiver core, kind of playing a little bit more of a smaller, physical style role, similar to what we had in Moses. Again, it's a different body structure. As that one's out for George Ball, and it's gonna be picked off. Oregon State. What a play by their DB, and it will continue the streak, which we've had at least 1 interception. David Dorsey with an incredible play on the outside. Didn't let that rain affect his vision, eyed it the whole way. And he just plucked it away as the ball went off of George Ball's hands. If he held on to it, we would still be out there on offense. Instead, it's Beaver ball here at the 31. as they will go with an RPO. Quick flip to the outside, a gain of 5. Schlegel there to bring him down, a very sure tackler at the free safety spot. Early movement left-hand side, and that's going to be on a Beaver. So erase the gain on first down, sets up a 2nd and 10 back at the 31. Tight look here as they go read option, but hand it off, gain of 2. So Mapua there to help get the tackle and forces a 3rd and long. They'll go with trips to the right-hand side. Man coverage for the Cardinal. Stepping up, though, with a bunch of space down the middle. Karoma all the way to plus side before he gives himself up. Beavers convert the 3rd and 8, plus a whole lot more. At the 46, they get motion right-hand side all the way going across. Play action. Here comes Cassius Sampson, but he does not contain. Karoma will slide down in front of Ty Holly. Big plays here for the Beavers early on in this one. Cardinal, they bring the blitz. Passes outside, and they will give him the first down. Was very close, but Farrell, he has it. At least they say so at the 36. It's 1st and 10. With trips to the left-hand side. They hand it off this time, and it's Red, Kiki Harulahu, and Nathan Henderson. Now, we have seen quite a bit of Henderson this season. He's been the guy on the edge in the 4-2-5 and the nickel defense. Dime mixed in there as well whenever Coach Barrington decides to run it. As they run it, gain of 8. This time setting up a 3rd and far more manageable, though they managed it just as well last time. Play action. Karoma throws outside, and it's going to be tipped barely. Tyrone Heggie. And they will have to settle for a field goal coming off the interception. Be about a 45-yarder left hash. And the kick is up, and it's going to go right down the middle. Little curve in there as well. Oregon State, they take the lead here 3-0. For Gordon Draft, if he has any hopes of winning that Heisman, he's got to cut it out with the turnovers. Starting at the 21, they hand it off to 21, and he's going to lose one. Back to the 20. That time the number play doesn't work out all too well here for our Stanford Cardinal. As Gordon Draft, he'll look to throw. Left-hand side, he finds Virgil Rowland. He's had a remarkable start to the season. Came in this year highest rated in college football, and he showed why that's the case. But Oregon State's front doing work here in the run game. Low start for Sulai as they go back out and find Rowland. I'm pretty sure they just ran the same 2 plays in back-to-back order. And it has them up to the 47. Different look this time. Looks like it'll be a different play. Draft doesn't like the initial look here. He's going to roll outside. Does not pick up the initial block there from Babineau. But he does pick up 7 in the process. Setting up 2nd and 3 as we move inside. 2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Draft taking that counter. Bumping around, but he's got the first down. But stays down. Holding perhaps at that throwing elbow. That could be a massive cause of concern. A good news for the Cardinal, their young quarterback Justin Sorenson. He's seen a lot of playing time this year as they've just dominated teams. So he's going to be able to step in here and try to run this offense. As he's looking for a couple blocks, the ball is out. Jumping on it is Ball. Oregon State's David Dorsey forcing that fumble. Almost a horrific play first for Justin Sorenson. They'll trust him though, as he's going to look to scramble yet again here. He gets outside, giving himself up. And after those 2 plays, it is Gordon Draft back out there, so it doesn't appear to be a major injury concern. We'll keep an eye on him the remainder of this one, and well, that just might be the statement that we needed. Gordon Draft staying down on a knee. He'll head back to the sideline. Justin Sorenson checking in here, so it does appear to at least be causing him quite some discomfort. Vallejo, he gets the catch from Sorenson, spun down at the 4. Now, we haven't got to see too much from Sorenson in this draft formation, especially down by the goal line. We'll see it here as he picks up some amazing blocks. He will go untouched. Shout out not only the offensive line, the receivers, the tight end, and the running back all picking up a man there. And it will be a lead here for the Stanford Cardinal, but at what cost? Gordon Draft, the Heisman hopeful, is shaken up on the sidelines. We will have the first quarter break to try to get an update on Draft and see what Coach Barrington wants to do with him moving forward in this game. As we know right now, it'll be Sorenson moving forward. But as we move forward, starting the second quarter, it's Beaver ball. Starting back at the 14, RPO to the outside, and a great juke and a bad angle from Sulai. Kevin Saman trying to run down the sideline, another bad angle. If there was a little bit more speed there from the Oregon State receiver in Steiner, perhaps that would have been a touchdown, a one-play answer. They do flip the field by quite a good bit, down to the opposite 15. And they're going to get back to it quickly here. Karoma finally joining his offense. They're going to have two to the right-hand side plus the tight end. Motioning, though, into the backfield and all the way across. They will go straight his way. Oscar Coley will get out there and bring Vic down, a gain of 5 for the Beavers. They're at the 10. Hard count. Early movement from Henderson, but he gets back on side. And the drag opens up to the end zone. Oregon State answers in less than a handful of plays. There's sophomore tight end Quincy Tryon with the score. Now, as the Cardinal do take the field, we have got an update for you. It is a upper body injury for Gordon Draft. Coach Barrington has stated Sorenson will be their guy through the remainder. So we'll get to see what the young quarterback can do as he finds Vallejo with another first down. He's been a great slot receiver here this year for the Stanford Cardinal. A lot of questions about this receiving group coming into the year, as a lot of them are going to be new starters. Virgil Rowland with a tough grab across the middle. I think a big statement alone is the fact that the Cardinal, they're still airing this ball out. They're trusting their young quarterback to go out there and get it done, as he can't get the ball to ball that time. Teague applies the hit, and it forces the ball to the ground. It's 3rd and a long one for the Cardinal. Larry Sulai, he cuts back right, and he's going to pick up about 4. He could be a great weapon today for Sorenson, who hasn't seen as much playing time here with the starting group. Sulai goes for about another 4. Sets up 2nd and 6. Another thing to note, the big difference between these two quarterbacks is how they throw. Righty versus lefty, and nearly jumped. The offense does roll a lot to the left-hand side, flipping that. We'll see if that affects them today. A 3rd and 6, got to convert. Sorenson, he feels the pressure, throws downfield, and it's Virgil Rowland with the play down to the 26. The crowd getting behind the redshirt freshman quarterback as he had to adjust there. Puts the ball in a nice little window, keeping their drive going here. Stepping up, he's got a Mike linebacker on him. He's going to get rid of it. But finding a way to try to get Larry Sulai mixed in here today. That should help out Justin Sorenson a good bit. And they will immediately look for the halfback screen here to Sulai, who puts the spin move on him. Stiff arm to help extend the play an extra 2 or 3. Sulai, he sets up the Cardinal. Goal to go at the 5. A great play there. And he's going to earn a little bit of a breather. Wesovich checking in here, as it's going to be a keeper, Sorenson, who did not see the defensive back lurking. A great job, though, to just sit behind that end, wait for the decision to be made. Going to be a loss of 4. Sorenson, he's going to drop back into shotgun here. Rolling to the right-hand side, he's got his running back, Sulai, taking it to the pylon, but will come up a little short. Go back to the draft formation, but with Sorenson out there, perhaps we got to come up with a new name. He's got ball in motion. Ball will keep it, and he will not cross that goal line. Just a great job from Dubose coming down from that safety spot. If Gomez was able to get a hand on him, it's an easy touchdown. Instead, 4th and goal at the 1. The offense is staying on the field. Sorenson keeps it. He flips it out. Sulai, he puts the spin cycle on the man. Luckily, ball does not keep him from scoring. Larry Sulai gives the Cardinal the lead here yet again, making this a 14-10 ball game just inside 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Just an absolutely ridiculous decision there from Coach Barrington, but it pays off. That aggressiveness, that's been the staple from him throughout his time here with the Stanford Cardinal. As they go with a quick flip, Steiner taken on. And again, making the stop is Schlegel. He's got the speed to flow at the back end, make plays down in coverage. But he's a great tackler. He could play linebacker if we need it. With Oregon State finding some success running the ball here, maybe that would be a good thing. We head through the 2-minute warning. With a quick throw left-hand side, getting down. Steiner, he's been there, man, throwing the ball here today. To move inside of 2. Throw downfield, Vic. He had a good jump on Pua. He will get back to him, but he might have not even needed to be there. Jose Vic couldn't stay on his feet. They are all the way down to the 14. This is why you can't overlook this Oregon State team. They played some phenomenal ball, but Markuk recovers the fumble. It bounces straight to him. Their tight end who scored last drive coughs up the ball. Cardinal take over at the 6. Just an absolutely lucky play. James Tuttle, he forces that fumble in a minute 10 here for offense to try to get down the field. Starting with Sulai, he picks up 8. They will go hurry up with a whole field to go here. 3 timeouts. You don't want to use those timeouts if you can't get into range. Throwing out of a sack, though. Teague once again getting pressure on the left-hand side. We've got 2 All-American tackles, but they're giving up a little bit of some rush today. Throwing quickly and finding Ben Vallejo, utilizing the speed that he does have, getting all the way to the 46. He's definitely not the fastest receiver we've had here at Stanford, but he's putting what he does have to tremendous work. And throwing downfield for Bargava, it's gonna get jumped, Dubose. And it's just a turnover party here late on in the second quarter. A little bit more arm strength, maybe set the feet. He gets that one to Bargava, and we might be talking touchdown. Instead, it's Beaver ball. What we've seen today is what we saw from the stats. Never mind the 2-2 record from Oregon State. They know how to play some ball. As will be a slide down prior to the defender. Gain of 6, and they call a quick timeout. They've got 2 more remaining, 32 seconds to try to find some points. As they're driving in, around the edge and getting the sack is Nathan Henderson. They'll force another timeout. They'll have 1 more remaining with a 3rd and 10. Amara with 2 to the left-hand side. Cassius Sampson with the pressure. Finds his guy across the middle, but will be short of the line to gain. And ultimately, that will take us to halftime. We've got an interesting one here, 14-10. The tightest game the Cardinal have played this year. And they've got a redshirt freshman in at quarterback. Oregon State, they're making some big plays out there. The offense is finding a couple chunks. Their defense has forced a pair of turnovers today. If not for that Larry Sulai spin, we might not be on top in this one, but a whole second half to go. We'll see what Coach Barrington has in store for us. As of right now, nothing all too promising to be showing these recruits. It will be Oregon State ball. Starting off the second, they need a touchdown to jump in front here. Going with another swing pass, Vic. He's going to be stopped at the line, actually a little bit behind the line. 3 Cardinal defenders all waiting for him. 2nd and 11, they go with a draw, shucking off, I believe that was Pascal. Not all that often the big fella is going to miss an opportunity like that. 3rd and 8, only a 3-man rush, but Paschal, he gets back there. That ball is airmailed to the sideline, and defense picks up the stop. Overall, a great start to the second half, but it's really going to rely on Justin Sorenson. Can he lead this offense to glory? Well, Sulai, he'll take the handoff right down the gut. He's already picked up a gain of 7, leaving 2nd and 3. They'll look to go back his way with a couple big man in front. Sulai shakes one, and he's down to the 37. And I don't think he ever got up to speed on that play either. He tried to let the blockers do the work here for him. They go back his way, and it's stuffed down the middle. A good job there from number 8 of Oregon State. Wesovich going to check in, give Sulai a bit of a breather. It's going to be a rollout pass here, checking down and finding Gomez. But he's going to be just back to the line of scrimmage. Nothing more, nothing less. They're at the 35. Hard count, not going to work here. Throw outside, and he finds Virgil Rowland. 70-plus yards for him today, and a risky throw pays off on 3rd down for Sorensen. Cardinal at the 22. As they will look to air this one out again, or instead Sorensen tried to scramble, tracing back, and getting the stop is Jaquez Mims. A lightweight man for the outside, but clearly he knows what he's doing. It's a loss of 3 on Sorenson. As he'll look to throw here, he goes to Vallejo, and that one's in and out of his hands. Big hit provided. Jars it free, and the Cardinal have a long way to go here on 3rd down. They need 13. Hard count, won't get anything for free. And thrown underneath and missing Bargava, who maybe had the step. They will have to settle for the field goal. It's aimed right down the middle for Ritter, who's been a little inconsistent. Leaning right, but it will stay inside the uprights. It will be a 7-point lead here for the Stanford Cardinal. Not the best start, but a solid start this half, extending the lead. Up to the defense to try to keep it. As Oregon State, they start back at the 18 with motion right-hand side. Vic. It'll be a stretch to the outside. Cassius Sampson forces the cutback, but Shaw's there to clean it. Most people just think of Sampson more as a pass rusher, but he's racked up a lot of tackles for a loss and perhaps some free yardage here. Free 5. Perhaps that's why he's stayed here at college through his redshirt senior year. He won the Heisman his sophomore year, but he did not want to head to the league. And that draft prospect rating that has gone a little up and down. Would still expect him to, though, crack in that first round. Total, he's trying to get the crowd involved here. It's 3rd down. Throw outside is off the mark for Vic. They will have to punt again. Well, this could be a key drive for the Cardinal offense. Starting plus side, you got that redshirt freshman quarterback back there. You're up 7. And Larry Sulai's picking up another 7. 40 yards for him today on the ground. He's gotten a lot of work done through the air as well. And he's spread outside here, heading to the backfield. They're going to go his way on the quick little swing pass. And he will not get by 7. But he does more than enough for the first down. Cardinal, they're down to the 30. It's a 4-receiver spread look. Sorenson stepping up, dancing around in the pocket. He slips one, then gets rocked by the linebacker, who will then come over and scoop it up. He got lucky the first time when he coughed up the ball. The Cardinal recover. This time he does not. The freshman, he's got to hold on to that. But for Mitch Sharp, the junior linebacker here of Oregon State, a massive play. Give an opportunity to their offense as they hand it off. James Tuttle, he's making a play out there as well. One of the many senior linebackers here for the Stanford Cardinal. 2nd and 11. Kiki does not contain. Good job, though, from Schlegel. And it will bring up a 3rd and 6 here for the Beavers. They'll look for a quick throw or no. Taking it over the top, Steiner. A great cover 2 beater on 3rd down. They're down to the 31. Occasionally, they've just popped up for some of those deep passes, and they've found a lot of success with it today. Going with the run here, though, Farrell, he's going to get to the outside. Mark Huck tracks him. Goes as a gain of 6 as the Beavers are looking for 6. At the 25 is what might be the last play, maybe second to last play of the 3rd quarter. Quick swing pass outside. Pua reads it. Bad attempt at making the tackle. Kevin Salmon gets him out of bounds and sends us to the 4th quarter, where it is a 1-score game. The Cardinal have not played in a close game this year. The Beavers, though, they've brought it to Palo Alto. Under the rain, turnovers have left a big mark on this game, and the Cardinal find another. Started with a full house, looking to have a little motion. Outside goes Vic, trying to get their speedster in space. He picks up 4. They're now inside the red zone at the 17. Early movement. James Tuttle, he jumped off by a mile. They needed 6, so it'll still be 2nd down, but 2nd and about 1, perhaps maybe a little bit less. Motioning out their tight end. Going to Farrell, and he's going to lose some yards. James Tuttle trying to make up for his mistakes. Forces that 3rd and 4. Cardinal make a change as it was empty set. Oregon State, they're going to adapt to it, sending trips right-hand side. And Farrell with some good blocks. Kiki couldn't get the tackle in time. 1st down for Oregon State at the 10. Just inside the 10 means no chances at any more fresh set. So it's going to be 4 plays or less here. Good cut from Farrell down to the 3. And he's actually found a fair amount of yards here today against one of the top rush defenses in the league. Running back 2 is going to check in here, though. Going his way on the counter and nothing but space. Bradbury ties the game here, as we still have a little over halfway left in the fourth quarter. But what this game has shown, Justin Sorenson not quite ready for the limelight, but he could change that, finishing this game strong and getting the Cardinal in the win column. Larry Sulai with a forearm shiver to the DB. Just absolutely menacing. Motion here, Roland. They don't go it immediately, and it's going to be Sorenson trying to stretch the play the opposite way it was intended to go. He just hesitated on that initial throw. It leaves a 3rd and 2. Larry Sulai stretches for the first down. He found a small gap in the line and dove through it to convert for the Stanford Cardinal. A tremendous play. As they go back to him, he runs through the edge man, nearly jukes out to Bose. Will be a gain of 7 for the Cardinal. Wesovich going to check in here. Well-earned breather. And rolling to the left-hand side. Some grass for Sorenson, who will get the first down, and he's getting down immediately. It really hasn't been his day for running that ball. A couple fumbles. He had a bad interception. The ball just came in a little bit low earlier. Got to make some smart decisions here as he's on the move under pressure and sacked. Jaquez Mims yet again. But only 2 sacks on the day. I mean, Cardinal quarterbacks have done a great job of trying to pick up at least something. With that tackle, they're going to have to pick up a little more than something on 3rd down here. Approaching 3 minutes left here in the game. Single high coverage. Sorenson, he's got to find someone to go to here. And it's Jaquez Mims again. Sorenson fights forward for a yard. But it's going to have to be a punt from Mears. Trying to pin them deep. Not exactly the best punt. Manu Cave's going to come over and he jars that ball free. Oregon State, no! Stanford jumps on top of it. Manu Cave forced that fumble and he just recovered. Gonna break the 4th wall here. Normally, I do not record or talk over punts. What a time to do so. Stanford now down inside the 30. And Jaquez Mims is shaken up on the play. That is extremely unfortunate for Oregon State. A phenomenal game he's put forth. Just really hate to see that, opponent or not. He had a big impact on this game. Hopefully it's a minor injury. Wesovich checks in and he picks up a hard-earned 2. That takes us through the 2-minute break here. The Cardinals have a 3rd and 5. It's a pistol set. Hard count, no one jump. Sorenson, he's got to work on that bark out there. No one quite breaking open. He's going to scramble, and he's going to pick up the first down. Absolutely massive play there, Cardinal. With less than a minute and a half in this one, they are rolling, and steamrolling is the offensive line. Jamal Teague now shaken up. He's had a big impact on this game as well. And Oregon State will be without 2 of their star edge men here down at the 4. Babineau, the fullback, keeps it. He picks up a couple, and now Cameron Conklin, he's limping around out there. He might have got rolled up on. We'll see Barkow step in then at center. Now, this is a man that Sorenson, he's quite used to, so we'll see if that has an impact on the rest of this one. 2nd and goal, it's Larry Sulai. They slipped him underneath the rushers, and he's got himself a touchdown. Come on, cameraman, you can't leave me hanging there on the Larry Sulai touchdown. A great play here from Sorenson. Patience. He had 3 big men coming at him, but he delivers the clean ball, and Larry Sulai puts our Cardinal on top. The defense will just have to hold on to it for 1 minute and 11 seconds. Just 1 more second past the time on the clock. And immediate pressure, but delivering a strike to Steiner. They call their first timeout. 2 more in their back pocket. They only gained 8. They're not even to the 20 yet. Gonna have trips to the left-hand side. Another short throw off the back of Farrell. Would have loved to see James Tuttle pick that one up and just take it to the house, but it leaves a 3rd and 2 for Oregon State. Throwing across the middle, Steiner is going to hold on to it. A fantastic game for him today as well. Oregon State really has played a phenomenal game, giving the Stanford Cardinal a run for their money. As Caroma will scramble, sliding down. It's only a gain of 3. Would have liked to see him try to get closer to the sideline. They're going to have to hurry up here, clock this into the grass, save that final timeout. with about 42 seconds. And they'll have 2 downs to try to find at least 7 yards with 3rd and 7 here. Empty set. 4-man rush was starting to get back there, but they're going to find number 3 who checks in here, picking up a big gain. Well, they'll be forced to call that final timeout early here. 35 seconds. Only first downs and getting out of bounds will stop that clock. And here comes Cassius Sampson, who just rocked him. Blair's going to scoop it up. Big fella's rumbling down to the 20, 10, 5. Big boy touchdown to seal the game, Stanford Cardinal. They made this one fun here today. Just last week, we talked about how turnovers might be a problem for us in the future. Well, it's turnovers that put this game away. Great game from Oregon State. But our Cardinal, they're going to stay undefeated. Touchdown, scoop, and score, Jason Blair. But honestly, that game I feel like was needed for this Cardinal team. They were sitting far too high. They hadn't had to play a full game. The backups have come in. And honestly, it's probably a good thing the backups did come in, because Justin Sorenson, he needed those reps. Today was not his best. Larry Sulai, he stepped up in a massive way. He's going to be the player of the game. Honestly, I think you could even put Manu Cave in that. Getting that forced fumble, recovering it himself, that really was the turning point of this game. I would have thought Oregon State could have come back from that. We then get the big boy touchdown, and this game's done. But it would appear that some of the recruits like that game as well. We land Titus Byler from Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, the 5-star cornerback and the number 2 player in the country. We, however, do not get a commit from the other guys who came on a visit, but it did look like it went pretty well here for Ed Gage, very close to getting a commit, maybe about a week or so away. As for Steve Cortez, he was also extremely close to committing as well. Now, he does have a visit with Oregon coming up week 7, so week 6, we need him to commit. He's very close. It's a even closer race, though, for James Gore. He has a visit with Georgia coming here week 11. So if there's any way we could nudge him over the edge, he might commit next week as well, or he might commit to Georgia. We do have a backup plan in that case with the number 7 player in the country. Number 1, though, at quarterback, James Gore. He's number 2, Dave Wooten. He, however, is a lot further away from making a decision, and currently Clemson, they have the earlier visits. So neither one of these quarterbacks are for sure going to commit to us, but we do have some redshirted freshmen. And we're doing very well everywhere else. However, there is one player that is giving us a good run for our money, and that is Roy Osborne. And we might just about be out of this race. He is pretty much already committed to Wisconsin from Ohio. He has a visit with Wisconsin. That's going to be this next game, and he doesn't come here till week 8. So unless he decides to flip, we will be out on one of these guys. But speaking of our next game, that's going to be against Colorado, our first road game. We talked about the messed up schedule, I believe last episode or maybe the episode before that, but we finally head on the road. It's to Colorado. We played there a lot. They're 85 across the board. They've played a lot of good games against us. I'd imagine it could be a similar situation to what we had today against Oregon State. The good news, though, is Gordon Draft's bounce back. He should be okay, but we might be a little bit cautious with him. Try to keep him a little bit cleaner next time. And as for Cameron Conklin, who also got a little bit shaken up today, he's going to be just fine. We'll be back into the starting lineup. But we won't be back here until Friday. So make sure you are hitting that bear icon in the bottom right or scrolling down, hitting the sub button and tapping that bell icon so you're notified when this series and all of my other videos are coming out. If you missed the announcements last week with all the double header days we had on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, schedule's getting changed. We're going to be here Monday and Friday. MLB The Show Road to the Show is taking over Tuesdays and Thursdays. And then on Wednesdays, we're going to have double headers with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So make sure you're staying tuned as we got a lot of big games coming up, a lot of series going, a lot happening here on the channel. I hope you are enjoying. It will be the Buffaloes up next.